All right, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the sincere Hakim and Aquatham and listen. May the blessing of election be upon your house. My name is Brother Okwai. I'm back in here with another quick and Lord's will as always an edifying lesson. Excuse me. And for today's lesson, I just want to, it's going to be a little bit of a little exhortation. I titled it says on the screen, Tobit's Benevolence. And I want to go into the etymology of the word and go into a little bit about his story. And I sincerely pray that this lesson is edifying. So let me get the word benevolence. What do I mean by that? I just came across it and I thought it was interesting and thought I would just, add it to the lesson, just for some more edification. So benevolence is a noun. It means disposition to do good. It says good feeling, goodwill, kindness, to wish. It says, let's see if there's any more here. Okay. So, well, in the right way, honorably, properly. Yeah. So the bene portion of the word. So that would be a prefix. It goes back to essentially doing well, right? So okay. So essentially, it says to a disposition to do good, right? And I just kind of wanted to read a little bit about Tobit because I was rereading and I was really moved to actually, do a lesson on this because, in this time, as a matter of fact, let me get it. Just bear with me on this. Yeah, Apocrypha. Let me just get 2nd Ezra 9. Okay, 2nd Ezra 9 and 6, and it says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder, powerful works, and endings and effects and signs, and everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby he hath believed, he shall be preserved from the said perils or the dangers, and see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me even from the beginning. All right, and I'm reading this because all these calamities that you see going on in the world, like the scriptures talk about the uproars of the people and earthquakes. Like that's one of the biggest things I've been noticing these days as times go forth, especially with this election, coming around in the next couple weeks, right? There's a very, very strong disdain for these, essentially these candidates. Even I saw a report recently in regards to Obama. He came up and essentially he was talking down to Jake men, you so-called Negroes, right, and trying to push forth for Kamala, right, and her candidacy, right. So there is a strong. You start to see a lot more distaste for these two different individuals here, going on in American politics, right? And Yahushua said, if Satan to be divided against itself, how can a kingdom stand, right? So you see a lot more examples of sedition as well, right? Earlier this year, we saw, I think it was in Bangladesh, where the people went and uproared against, I believe it was the prime minister, right? So you start to see a lot of these uproars of the people and the love of many waxing cold. A lot of information is being exposed about, these politicians and so on and so forth, right? So this is why it's, this is a good opportunity, to essentially for Israelites to seek the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, while he may be found, right? Right? As a matter of fact, let me get that. Spirit, let me Salakia, and going off on a little of a tangent, but just bear with me. As I say, just bear with me. Okay, this is Isaiah 55, verse 6 in the AMP. And it says, "Seek the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai while he may be found. Call upon him for salvation while he is near. Let the wicked leave behind his way and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return to the Lord. And he will have compassion, mercy on him. And to our power, he will abundantly pardon," right? So, and that's one of the points I really wanted to hit, because what we need essentially in these times is a pardon. We need forgiveness, right? And through these different works, like I want to show you in what Tobit did, through these different good works that he did, ultimately he received, the Lord had mercy on him and was able to give him his eyesight back, right? So how much more, protection in those times, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to, kind of go into for the sake of this lesson, because in the earlier chapters of the book, he was essentially he was burying the dead, right? And one of the things that stuck out to me, I want to jump across. I want to kind of jump to the end, but the story is it's a very, very good book. I've been rereading it, and I kind of just wanted to touch on a couple points just for the sake of time, right? So just bear with me. Let's see. Okay, this is Tobit chapter 12, verse 12. And it says, "Now therefore, when thou didst pray, and Sarah thy daughter-in-law, I did bring the remembrance of your prayers before the Holy One. And when thou didst to bury the dead, I was with thee likewise. And when thou didst not delay to rise up and leave thy dinner to go and cover the dead, thy good deed was not hid from me, but I was with thee," right? So, all of his good works were being known by the angels, right? As a matter of fact, I think that's in Ecclesiasticus, Just bear with me. Ecclesiastes, is that 23? Just bear with me. Okay, Ecclesiasticus 23, verse 19, and it says, "Such a man only fear," okay, it says, "Such a man only fear the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts," right? So all the ways of, our ways are, being watched, and even like when you think about our wickedness of our people, because they think that, they do their wickedness in the darkness, in the shadows, it hasn't been brought to light, right? And but I think in Luke the 12th chapter it says, "There is nothing secret that shall not be made abroad," right? So all of these things, especially when you see on the flip side with our people in the entertainment industry, you see the wickedness of our people being brought to light of what they're doing, right? And one of the highlights of this year for you brothers and a few sisters who listen and have been noticing in the news, one of the biggest highlights is Diddy, right? So the world is being made known about the wickedness that is going on in the entertainment industry, in the movie industry, in Hollywood, in the sports industry, the things that they have to do to accumulate their carnal riches, right? And what I wanted to point is the flip side of this, right? And show the good deeds of a righteous man, especially in captivity, right? And that righteous man here is Tobit, right? Because he was in the earlier chapters in the book, he was burying the dead, right? And even despite the fact, he a bird kind of like shot in his eyes, right? And he was blinded. He stresses the importance of the prayer, and stresses the importance of the alms, and he stresses the importance of still walking righteously in this time, especially in captivity, right? Because that's when you think of it, we're also in captivity. Okay, I'll read that again, and it says, "Now therefore, when thou didst pray, thy daughter Sarah, thy daughter-in-law, I did bring the remembrance of your prayers before the Holy One, and when thou buried the dead, I was with thee likewise." Verse 13, and it says, "And when thou didst not delay to rise up and leave thy dinner to go and cover the dead, thy good deed was not hid from me. But I was with thee." And that's comforting too, because when you do a good deed, especially you might go through your rough times and so on and so forth for your with your brethren, and those things don't get unnoticed, right? And how much more when times to come, when there's very little essentially food on the shelf, you can't go to the grocery store, we'll kind of like ostracized from society because we choose not to partake in their so-called NWO, right? Because that's not living what Esau is pushing forth. That's not living what Klaus Schwab is talking about. You will own nothing and be happy. That's not living. You Israelites think that you're living, but you're not. You're still in captivity, right? As a matter of fact, let me get that. I've been bringing that out a lot, and I got two precepts. Hold on. Where is that? Baruch 3:8. So it says, "Behold, we are yet in this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power," right? So that's one of the reasons we're in this position, because we sinned against the Lord. And going back to the word that I brought out earlier in Isaiah, what we need from the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai is a pardon, right? We need to be protected. We want mercy. As a matter of fact, let me get to that precept. Hold on. I believe that's in Zephaniah. Just give me 1 second. Is that 3? Hold on. No. Okay, so this is Zephaniah. Okay, let me just go back to the KJV. 1 second. Okay, this is Zephaniah 2, verse 3, and it says, "Seek ye the Lord Yahweh, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness, it may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger," right? And the day of the Lord's anger is coming, right? As a matter of fact, let me get Okay, so it says Jeremiah 30, verse 7, and it says, "For the day is great, there is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it," right? So this is very, very important, because we know the day of the Lord's anger is coming. We have, the scriptures talk about that one woe, how does it go? The third woe cometh quickly, to roughly paraphrase. Hold on. Is that Revelation 11? 1 second. Okay, sorry, Salakia. The second woe, so Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe is past, and the third woe cometh quickly, right? So, we have, what you call World War III brewing in the air. These other nations, these natural Gentiles, they're in the spirit of war. They're in the spirit of essentially trying to take vengeance upon Babylon the Great, aka America, because America essentially has made a lot of enemies, right? And the scriptures talk about how even their own allies as well is going to rise up and take vengeance upon that whore, right? So this is a lot of the things that are going on. On top of that, you have, let me go, where is it? I'm going to go back to Ecclesiasticus. What's that? Ecclesiasticus 39. Just give me 1 second. Ecclesiasticus 39, verse 28, and it says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, in which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them." Right? So, actually, let me read verse 29. It says, "Fire, hail, and famine, and death, all these were created for vengeance." Right? And, this is good too. Hold on. It says, "The teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to their destruction." Right? So all these different calamities are going to come upon our people because they have a long things that they need to pay for. They have a long sins that they need to pay for. Right? They are not in the spirit of actually trying to seek righteousness, seek meekness, seek humility, seek the Lord, come back to the Lord, to be covered. We're essentially, we're a woman that needs a covering during these times, right? And we need protection, right? So that's why we catch hell, and this is one of the important reasons that there's a sense of urgency. We don't want to wait till there's no food on the shelf to start seeking the Lord. But that is the mindset of Jake. The scriptures talk about how in their affliction they shall seek me early, right? But at that time it will be too late, right? So that's why it's going into those examples of good works in these times we can use for that hopefully the Lord will remember us in those times to come, right? Because there'll be times we'll be cut off. You can't go and access a bank account unless you have that grain of rice, right? You brothers and sisters know what I'm talking about, right? So let me go to Psalms, actually. Let's bear with me on this. Psalms. Okay, Psalms 125, I'll start at verse 3, and it says, "For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity." Verse 4, "O Lord Yahweh, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts, as for..." Okay, let me read that again, actually. It says, "Do good, O Lord, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts." Right? So we want the Lord to do good to us in those times, because we use essentially the grace period to actually do and capitalize on doing good things, on doing prayers, doing these lessons, doing good to one another, our brethren, whoever is around your house that is doing good to you. I guess in your family life, we do good to them. We're not acting maliciously or anything like that. We do good to each other and talking about the brethren and so on and so forth, right? We take this opportunity, we take this grace, and essentially we use it to actually seek examples of righteousness in those times, right? Because in these times, we're not going to have essentially riches to actually cover us, right? The scriptures talk about how, let me get it, 1 second. Proverbs 11:4, and it says, "Riches profit not in a day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death, right? So, and all of us really and truly deserve death, right? There were things that, even myself, I have done, that offended the Lord, right? So, what we need is mercy in these times. That's really the point I'm trying to hit here, right? Let me get, okay, I guess I'll just get this quick account, and then I guess I'll just close it off. Let's get it. 1 second. Okay, this is Mark 12, verse 41, and it says, And Yahushua sat against the treasury, and beheld, how the people cast money into the treasury, and how many rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and threw 2 mites, and which make a farthing. And he called unto him his disciples, and saith unto him, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. For they did cast in of their abundance, but she cast of her want did cast, but she of her want did cast in all she had, even all her living, right? She was in a situation, she just gave everything that she had, right? So that's, that I think about that, that's really immense faith, right? Scriptures talk about, when you do good, goodness, how does it go? It's in Tobit. Tobit talked about this as well, actually. Let me just go back. Let me see, 1 second. Tobit 4 and 8, and it says, If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou hast but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little, right? So, she was in a situation, she just gave everything, that she had, right? And, all those things, and even that thing what she did, all that is still being recorded, right? The angels, the Lord saw all that, right? Going back to Tobit, the 12th chapter, right? So how much more us as well? All these things, all these deeds, we do are being made known, right, in these times, right? Because what we need really is truly is protection. We need divine protection in these times, right? Because Esau's going to come down with great wrath, knowing, but he hath a short time, right? So, what we need is intervention. What we need is a good lawyer. What we need is mercy in these times. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Even the Apostle Paul, he talked about, I can have an understanding of all mysteries, I can have all great faith, and this and that and the fourth, and if I have not charity, I am nothing. And that's coming from the Apostle Paul, right? So, I guess I'll just leave it there. But I sincerely pray that this lesson was edifying and comforting, just something I just wanted to bring out, But I pray that it was comforting, and hopefully you got something out of it. Just like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Until next time, I say Shalom.